The liturgical calendar says we are in ordinary time. Maybe the church calendar is ordinary, but our lives do not seem to be ordinary during these times. Every time we see the news, we struggle with what side I am supposed to be on. Who should I believe? We are being pulled in different directions just from our friends and from the community around us. Over the last several weeks, I've been pondering this commandment. The second commandment, Matthew 22, verse 39. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. How is your neighbor? When we're out wearing masks, are we still making conversations with others around us, or are we using our mask as a way of not to talk to anyone? I make it a point to say hi to everyone just to let them know that I see them instead of looking like they're invisible. Let me share a story with you might have already heard before. One day an old man was walking along a beach that was littered with thousands of starfish that had been washed ashore by the high tide. As he walked, he came upon a young boy eagerly throwing the starfish back into the ocean, one by one. Puzzled, the man looked at the boy and asked, "What are you doing?" Without looking up from his task, the boy simply replied, "I'm saving starfish, sir." The old man chuckled aloud and said, "Son, there are thousands of starfish and only one of you. What difference can you make?" The boy picked up a starfish, gently tossed it into the water, turning to the man and said, "I made a difference to that one." What about the starfish in our lives? They are the neighbors who are losing their jobs and incomes, neighbors who are quarantined in their homes due to this pandemic with fear and anxiety, feeling isolated from the world, with social distancing from people that's creating stress on ones that need to be conversing with others on a daily basis. Engaged couples we have stressing about their wedding day that had to be postponed due to churches and venues being closed. Married couples spending more time together than normal, learning how to communicate with each other. Families not used to having their children home 24 hours a day. And parents and teenagers all under one roof. This is all from a reduction of human contact. And with this pandemic, the world is seeing also a rise in domestic violence and suicides in our community. D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services is a leading nonprofit organization which has provided mental health, substance use, and suicide prevention services for over 75 years. They will offer these suggestions to help you to stay calm and healthy during the current crisis. One of them is to rely on trusted news sources, but the other is to limit your exposure to the news to a few times a day and avoid watching the news before going to bed. They also suggest that you stay in touch with your friends and families and neighbors and loved ones, either by phone, texting, or emails. And make the most of family time, whether you're walking the dog, doing a jigsaw puzzle, or even cooking together. Consult with a trusted financial advisor before making any major finance decisions. And, of course, follow the CDC guidelines on hand washing and other hygienes. And also do a fun activity together, maybe a hobby as a family, or even go for a walk or a hike. And if you know someone or yourself who is feeling suicidal, I ask you to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Let me repeat that, 1-800-273-8255. You can also find them at www.ddhirsch.org, or they are on the Orange Diocese website. To love our neighbors as ourselves, my friends, we need to be more like the boy in the story and reach out to others in our life. Could you call or text one friend a day and ask them how they are doing? A lot of them believe that no one even cares about them. Let them know that they are loved, missed by a big part of this community. I ask you now to go now and make a difference to that one.